Why I chose real estate over a 9 to 5 job. People ask me this question all the time. You have a master's degree in work psychology and business from the UK. You are a qualified business psychologist. Why on earth did you choose real estate instead of a corporate career? And honestly, the answer starts long before real estate. It starts with a problem I've had in my entire life. I've never been good at just one thing. I have creative skills, I have technical skills, I love education, I love psychology, I love business, I love coaching people, I love communication as well. And my ADHD brain refuses to stay in one lane. For some people, that's confusing, I know. For me, it was frustrating because the world loves specialists. The world wants you to choose one thing, one title, one career, one identity. But every time I tried fitting into one box, I felt like I was leaving parts of myself behind. And I knew something about myself. If I spent my life ignoring my strengths, eventually I'll burn out. Not because the work is hard, because I know I was capable of more. So when I came back from the UK, I asked myself one question. What is the one career where I can use everything I know and still creates an extraordinary life? Not just financially, personally, emotionally, and professionally as well. Because if I was going to work for the next 30 to 40 years, I would want freedom. I would want impact. I would want growth, definitely. And yes, I would want to make a hell of a lot of money too. I want a life where I could take care of my parents, a life where I could travel without checking my leave balance, a life where I wouldn't have to miss family occasions because a manager said no. Because one thing I learned from working across the UK, UAE, and India over the last 10 years is this. Time is the one thing you never get back. I didn't want to spend my life waiting for permission to live it. I wanted a career where my growth depended on my effort, not a company hierarchy. And then one day I had a realization, if I don't take risks now, when will I? Because think about it. What's the worst thing that could happen? I fail, okay. Then I end up in a 9 to 5 job, the same place millions of people already are. I've done it before. I can do it again. But what if I succeed? What if I build something extraordinary? Suddenly, I realized something. The risk wasn't actually risky. The bigger risk for me was never trying. And that mindset changed everything. Real estate had always been somewhere in the back of my mind. My father has been in real estate for years. I've seen how this industry gave our family comfort, stability, and opportunities. But I always felt something deeper. My parents gave me better education than they had, better exposure than they had, better opportunities than they had. And I always felt a responsibility not just to maintain our lifestyle, to upgrade it, to create experiences my parents never had, to take the foundation they built and build something even bigger. I want to take them places they have never been, give them experiences they have never had, and create memories they'll carry for the rest of their lives. Because that's what progress is. Each generation should move the family forward, not stay in the same place. The challenge for me was I thought UAE real estate was impossible to enter. I assumed it required huge money, huge connections, huge influence. Then something unexpected happened. A friend of mine got an interview for an HR position in a real estate company. I asked her to find out how the industry actually worked. At the same time, one of my mother's friends was also working in real estate. The more I learned about real estate, the more excited I became. And for the first time, something clicked. I remember sitting there thinking, this is it. So I started applying. And eventually, I got a call from Patriot Real Estate. I still remember walking into the office. You know those moments when your gut tells you something before your Brain does. I had that feeling. I looked around and thought, I really hope I get this. After the interview, they called me. They wanted me on board. I was excited and I was terrified too. And I knew my life was about to change. Of course, I had a lot to learn. The company invested heavily in training. My team leader, Mr. Haris sir, helped me guide. Our off-plan specialist, Ms. Alika, was incredibly supportive from the beginning. And I was surrounded by hardworking, ambitious colleagues who pushed me to become better every day. But then people started asking me something interesting. Why real estate? You are a business psychologist. And that's when I realized people misunderstand this industry. Because real estate is not about buildings, it's about people. And most importantly, it's trust. It's your emotional intelligence, it's your negotiation skills, it's your relationship building skills, and it's understanding what motivates human decisions. And that's exactly what I have spent years studying. As a business psychologist, I coach people on communication, workplace relationships, confidence, leadership, emotional intelligence, sales effectiveness, conflict resolution, and professional growth. I train people, I understand behavior, I understand decision making, and most importantly, I understand what investors are actually looking for. People think investors are looking for properties. They are not. They are looking for certainty, trust, safety, someone who genuinely understands their goals. Now, here is the difficult part. Dubai has thousands of real estate agents, thousands. So, why should anyone choose me? The answer is not because I am the smartest and I'm the most experienced and I know the most. It's because I want to be the safest person in the room, the person people trust, the person who listens, the person who genuinely cares, whether it's a first time buyer, a family, an investor, a millionaire, or even a child. Because at the end of the day, that's what I have always wanted. You see, I know what it feels like to be misunderstood. I know what it feels like not to belong. I know what it feels like not to feel safe, even in places that were supposed to feel like home. And maybe that's why my purpose has never been about selling properties. My purpose is making people feel safe, feel heard, feel valued, and feel understood. That's why I'm in real estate. Not because it's easy, but because for the first time in my life, I found a career where I don't have to choose between my talents. I can be a psychologist, a coach, a communicator, a creator, a businesswoman, a lifelong learner, all at the same time. And that's why I chose real estate over a 9 to 5 job. Not because I was running away from something. And if you have made it this far, thank you for watching. Because maybe this wasn't just my story. Maybe a part of it is yours too. If you are someone who feels like you don't fit into one path or you are trying to build a life that actually feels like yours, comment down. We can continue the discussion in the comments.